Oh, yes. So I am here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another uh, live where we're going to talk about nothing but football. Of course, my name is Chris, the Sports Guy, and if you're watching, please to like, share, and subscribe because this will help the channel out. And trust me, it's gonna be some good content going forward, and you will love it. I can tell you that much. So what am I doing here? What kind of football are we talking about? There are a lot of things that has happened. Manchester United are in the dump at this point in time in terms of what they've been able to do. And of course, they are not doing well at all. Let me just clear some stuff. Okay. They are not doing well at all. And it is getting from bad to worse, to be honest, because when you look at what the talent is in terms of the pool and what they've been able to do in terms of their individual talent, they're not producing how they should, and it's posting a problem, a big problem, because it's never good to have that much talent and you're not able to produce. So them not being able to produce a lot, and it's not festering at all, and it is looking really bad for them. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really has put the pressure on himself, and guys, I'm not sure what he's going to do to actually take the pressure off of himself, because it's just not going well at all. So if you guys are watching, remember to like, share, and subscribe, because that is what helped the channel out. We're at 192 subscribers, 192, and we can get up to 200. We're just 8 away from 200. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, because trust me, that will help the channel out. So what am I talking about? What has been going on? I'm going to go to the games that were played yesterday, and then we get into today's games and what has happened today. Of course, the first match on the card was Liverpool versus Watford. Very good performance from Roberto Firmino. Just did his thing, scored a hat-trick. Mohamed Salah getting a goal and an assist as well. Sadio Mane, the man that put away Salah's assist, and that was a 5-0 drubbing of Watford. Watford, I think, is going to go down this season, and they're just not looking good. They were dominant in the championship. They're not dominant now. And you really see where they're lacking in terms of their star power. And maybe they needed Andre Gray. Maybe they needed him to really go and, how should I put it, really lead that striking force, because they're not doing good so far this season. And when you really look at how they were when they got relegated, it's the same exact pattern, and it's just not looking good, because currently at the moment Watford have conceded, how much have they conceded? 15 goals, and they've only scored 7. That's the same as Leeds, who are a point behind them. And speaking of Leeds, they did play yesterday in a flurry of games, but we'll go to Aston Villa first. Aston Villa just gave up the lead. I'm not sure as to why they didn't necessarily keep that lead, because let me tell you guys something. It's not looking good for them either. It's not looking good for them, gents and ladies. It's not looking good for them, because they had a 2-0 lead, They had a 2-0 lead, right? Danny Ings in the 48th minute and John McGinn in the 68th minute. John McGinn, I believe, was the best player for Aston Villa yesterday. Got a goal and an assist for his work. And then they were leading 2-0. You think, all right, they were going to cruise, because at halftime they were 0-0. And, after 68 minutes, they were leading 2-0. You're thinking, okay, all right, they're going to go and they're going to win the game, get 3 points. At home, they're actually at Villa Park. they allowed Wolves to play into their own game. So they allow Wolves to get back into this game. Size, an assist from Podence, Connor Cody, an assist from Den Donker, and Ruben Neves scoring in injury time to get a 3-2 win for Wolves over Aston Villa. And this spells trouble. A lot of people were saying that they were not going to survive without Jack Grealish. They're doing okay at the moment. They are 12th in the table. They're just 2 points off top 10. They're 2 points off top 10. They are 4 points off top 8, and they're 5 points off top 5. So they're not doing too bad, but they have to look into themselves and think, what are we going to do to fix the problem of defending? Because that has been their problem, defending. I mean, you cannot be having a 2-0 lead and then a couple minutes after that, and then after the 90, you are losing 3-2. That can't work. And of course, the coach has to look at this and think, okay, what are we going to do to fix this? Because it really looks bad for Coach Smith. It really does. So hopefully they fix it. Then we'll go to this game that was very, very surprising. Manchester United versus Leicester City at the King Power Stadium. Now, the first goal that was scored in the 19th minute was a peach from the man Mason Greenwood. This is his 10th Premier League goal since April. Only Mohamed Salah has scored more goals than him since April in the Premier League, which is 12th. So he was just at the right place at the right time, caught the ball on the edge of the 18 out wide, drift inside, cut on his left foot, and it was a peach of a goal. And then speaking about peach, we come to this goal by Yuri Tielemans, and I would blame Harry Maguire for this one because he turned and basically gave Iheanacho the ball and gave it to Yuri Tielemans, and that was a well-struck goal. Sayonchu, his one was from close range, got that ball right at his feet. Normally it doesn't happen, and he got that 2-1 lead. So they were leading 2-1. And then Marcus Rashford, a very good finish. He's always a good one-touch person, Marcus Rashford, and it showed. So that was a very good goal, but a very good pass from Victor Lindelof. Now, there's a lot of persons that are saying that Victor Lindelof should be playing that CDM role because he's a defender by trade, right? And he can pass the ball very, very well. He's good with the ball at his feet. So persons are saying maybe Victor Lindelof should play that CDM role because he's a good passer and he's the one that got the assist in this one. So I think that maybe they need to look at it and see if they can play Lindelof at CDM. And then a minute after that, the man Jamie Vardy scores. Ayoze Perez came on for James Maddison, and 10 minutes after that proved very, very important. Scored that goal, assisted that goal for Jamie Vardy. And then speaking about a substitution that made a difference, Daka, the man that came on for Iheanacho, came on and sealed the deal for Leicester City. They won by 4-2 at the King Power Stadium. 4-2. Now, this is going to put a lot of pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because what are you going to do now to really salvage this season? It cannot be that you're losing these kind of games. You're leading and you're losing these kind of games. It cannot be that you're assembling this team that is good. I mean, this team that he put out was good. I mean, what he had, of course, Varane being injured, he had to, and of course, Fred because of national selection, so he couldn't immediately come back into the team. Those are the rules for England and their COVID-19 protocols. Those are the rules, and he assembled a team that made sense. Harry Maguire coming back from injury, that probably is the only one that I was kind of hesitant with, because I think that he should have maybe gone with three at the back. I'm not. I won't kill him for it, because when you really look at it, um, you know, yes, he's a captain, and yes, you want him in that heart of the defense, but he's just coming back from an injury. You cannot rush him. And one thing, even though everybody loves to cuss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when it comes to players being injured, he actually manages them pretty well. When Rashford was injured, when Edison Cavani was injury prone, he's still injury prone, and he was able to manage them well. Rashford came back today, well, not today, yesterday, and he scored. So I would think that he managed it well. So this was a this was a head scratcher, because he's just coming back from injury. Just. I would have put Eric Bailly in there. That's what I would have done, right? And allow the game to play. I mean, Eric Bailly is somebody that risks his body, and that's probably the reason why he's injury prone. To defend, you would put him with Victor Lindelof, and then for the life of me, I don't know why he's not playing Van der Beek. There's something that he has against Van der Beek. I'm not 100% sure, but there must be something that he is having for Van der Beek. I'm not sure what the youngster has done, but he's a pretty good player, Donny Van der Beek, right? He's 24 years old, and he's always willing to do everything for a team, whether it's Ajax or Manchester United. He's willing to do it. 2019, before he came to Manchester United, he was a nominee for Ballon d'Or. At the age of 22, he was a nominee for Ballon d'Or. Think about that. And he's not able to jump in now. So that's, to me, I'm not sure as to why he is. I'm not sure as to why he's doing this, to be honest. So hopefully he does something to get in this team, because I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with Van der Beek, and the fact that he's not able to really make a name in this squad. So a 4-2 win for Leicester City, and they're looking to steady the ship. Leicester, they're 11th now on the table, and they're looking to steady that ship once more. We jump over to the Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City hosted Burnley, and they won by 2-0. Goals scored by Bernardo Silva in the 12th minute and Kevin De Bruyne in the 70th minute. And that was the end of that. Of course, Fernandinho coming back, Ruben Diaz coming back. So it's good to have those players back. Also at Norwich, also at Carrow Road, it was Norwich hosting Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton has started this season very, very lively. I actually like how they've started this season. At one point, they were at the top of the table, and they're looking to really turn their season around. Currently, they're fourth with that 0-0 draw against Norwich City. They're top four. Guys, I am not kidding. They are top four with 15 points. They're ahead of the likes of Leicester City, Manchester United, Arsenal. The list goes on and on and on. So, there you have it. Brighton, Norwich, 0-0. Then we went to St. Mary's Stadium where Southampton played Leeds United. Southampton winning by a goal to nil. Broja scoring in the 53rd minute. That assist by Nathan Redmond. And that was the only goal of the contest. So they won by a goal to nil. And then Brentford hosted Chelsea at the Community Stadium in London. And of course, that was somewhat of a London derby. And Brentford lost by a goal to nil to Chelsea. They have been very impressive as well so far. They are top 10. They're ninth in the table. They have a better goal difference. The Wolves. The Wolves has a 0 goal difference, while Brentford has +3. Actually better than Arsenal as well. So that's very impressive. So Brentford has been doing so well this season. And this is their first loss at home this season. So they've been doing pretty well so far. So, but it took an injury time strike from Ben Chilwell. An injury time strike from Ben Chilwell that saw the pensioners, aka Chelsea fans, getting that 3 points there. So let's see. We'll go to the next day, which is today, and we look at two matches that have happened in the Premier League. That was West Ham versus Everton. West Ham winning that by a goal to nil, of course. That goal scored by Ogbonna. And that places West Ham on 7th, 14 points. The same as Everton, the same as Manchester United as well. And then Tottenham, they won by 3 goals to 2. Tanguy Ndombele, Harry Kane, and Son Heung-min. Of course, that game was stopped. That game was stopped because of a medical emergency. So kudos to Reguilon. Kudos to Reguilon as well as Eric Dier that saw, of course, that medical emergency. Thank you to Tony and Smith for joining the live as well. Always good to see persons commenting. Remember to leave your comments, guys, and also chiming what you thought about the Premier League games this weekend, what has happened, what you think will happen in the coming weeks. Champions League will be happening as well. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about the matchups that will be happening this week? And of course, I will be able to tell you about those Champions League games. That is going to be very interesting. Of course, Champions League and Europa League, and it's going to be wow. I can't wait. I can't wait for this PSG versus RB Leipzig game. But I'll tell you about the Champions League games that will be happening. So, of course, these Champions League games: Besiktas versus Sporting. Besiktas versus Sporting. And of course, Manchester City versus Club Brugge. Those will be happening at 11:45 Jamaica time. And then, of course, at 2 o'clock, it will be Ajax versus Dortmund. That is going to be a good game. Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. FC Porto versus AC Milan. Inter versus Sheriff Tiraspol. Sheriff has been doing very well this Champions League campaign. They're at the top of the table. They have not lost a game. They have not lost a game. They blanked Shakhtar 3-0, I believe, and they defeated Real Madrid 2-1. That's how it goes, 2-1. Well, so it goes 2-0. They defeated Shakhtar 2-0, and they defeated Real Madrid 2-1. So they're looking good so far. They're looking good, and if they can get this win against Inter Milan, then this might be a very interesting matchup and a very interesting story for Sheriff Tiraspol. And then, of course, Paris Saint-Germain versus RB Leipzig, as well as Shakhtar Donetsk. They're going to be hosting Real Madrid. And then on Wednesday, there's going to be more Champions League action. Barcelona versus Dynamo Kiev, RB Salzburg versus Wolfsburg, Benfica versus Bayern Munich, Chelsea versus Malmo, Lille versus Sevilla, Manchester United versus Atalanta, Young Boys versus Villarreal, and Zenit St. Petersburg hosting Juventus. And those are the matches that will be happening in the Champions League. Of course, guys, remember this is just all just some good matchups. And of course, Champions League is always the league that everybody looks forward to. Champions League is always the football competition that everybody is watching because they know what this competition brings. Also, I want to talk about the Reggae Boys and what has been happening. So the Reggae Boys have finally gotten their first win, 3 points on the board. They defeated Honduras by 2 goals to nil. Those goals were scored by Kemar Roof in the 34th minute, and then in the 80th, O'Neill Fisher put the game to bed. Honduras were not good. Manchester United. I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but the Reggae Boys really put pressure on that Honduran team. But let's not take away anything from Honduras because they did in fact put some pressure on the Reggae Boys. Jamaica were suddenly on the back foot, but they held their own. I believe that O'Neill Fisher's goal was a peach. That was a very good goal by O'Neill Fisher, the former Georgian, and he waited, saw that there was an opening, took the ball, collected from Andre Gray, and I said it many times. This has been TapaWhitmore's best tactical performance since he has taken over this team as the Reggae Boys coach. He made a substitution, putting on Andre Gray, saw that Kemar Roof was tired, put on Andre Gray, and it worked to perfection. He held the ball, sent it to O'Neill Fisher, and O'Neill Fisher scored for the nail in the coffin. That was his best tactical performance. Switched at times his formation, went for three at the back first, then switched to a back five, could have switched to a back four, which he did. So there were three how should I put it, strategical changes in terms of formation. So during the game, when he realized that there was some pressure, he put four at the back, sometimes five at the back, and then he just continued doing that, and that caused some problems for Honduras. They did have some good chances, but they weren't able to capitalize. But kudos to the Reggae Boys, were up and running. Reggae Boys, rise up, stand and take your place. But we're not going to get too complacent. We're not going to get too excited because we still have a couple of games left. We have 8 games to go. The next window for the World Cup qualifiers, we're facing El Salvador and we are facing the United States. El Salvador is going to be some tricky opponents. We're traveling to the Central American country, and of course we're going to play at home at the office to the United States. They did blank us 2-0, which put TapaWhitmore under immense pressure. And you believe that maybe a loss in this window could spell the end of TapaWhitmore in terms of course, you know, him as a coach. It's just not looking good for him heading into this game. And he collected 3 points. So it's buying some sort of time, but he's looking to maybe get some more time and maybe collect 3 points, because if he can collect at least 6 from this window, then he would be in a very good position to do what he did as a player, which is qualify for the World Cup. Marcus says, I agree. Yeah, he has to really and truly step up, Marcus, because if he doesn't, then I mean, what's the point of still being the manager, right? So I think that he needs to get at least 6 points from this window in order to be successful or to continue. Because let me tell you, it'd be awesome for him to do it as a player and as a coach. But if you're not progressing this team, then it doesn't make sense you stay in the team. So it's always good to see. Persons who are joining, remember to subscribe, like, and share. We're at 192 subscribers. We want to get to 200 by the end of this week. This is the start of a new week. Guys, remember, Tan on a yard. Tomorrow is no movement day. If you're not an essential worker, you can watch over the stream again. You can like it up, share it with whomever you want to share it with, because the goal is to get to 500 subscribers by the end of this year. So it'd be always great to get those likes up, share it with everybody you know, and let's get this train running. So who are we looking to really get to maybe bolster this Reggae Boys team? Now I saw Ivan Tony doing some stuff for Brentford City. I would love Ivan Tony to come into the setup. But do we really need Ivan Tony? Is he an essential person in this team? Is he somebody that we need in this team? Is it somebody that we have to have in this team? I necessarily don't think so, but he's a hot commodity right now. If he continues, then he'd be a hot commodity for England. And he did say that whomever comes knocking, he will answer. But would it be the right call? Would it be the right door to open? Because you can look at the pros and cons for both teams. For Jamaica, you might not qualify for the World Cup. That's just plain and simple. You might not qualify. England, you have a better chance at qualifying. But when you look at the con for England, you may be called, but will you play? You may be called, but will you play? That's an important question. And that is something that many persons really would want to answer, or would want to think that he needs to answer. So it's just it's just a flip of the coin, to be honest. Because with Jamaica, you will get more playing time in Jamaica's squad if you are playing the way how you're playing. But I mean, will you qualify for the World Cup? That's the problem that I have with that decision, because I just don't want him to make the wrong decision for a team that either A doesn't need him, or B doesn't have a good chance of qualifying. But upwards and onwards, we have 8 games to go. I am really excited that they finally got their first point of the season. Maybe they can use this as a motivation to go forward, because if you don't at least get 6 points, then it's going to be a failure for me. I don't think we're going to qualify for the World Cup if we do not get at least 6 points from this November window. And I mean, it's going to be difficult. I will back off a little bit if they get 5 points. I'll back off a little bit if they get 5 points. So we'll just have to see where it goes from there. This is not going to be a long video, because I have discussed the Reggae Boys, which I want to know from you guys. Do you think Tapa should be released from his coaching duties, or do you think he should continue? Let me know in the comment section as well. And of course I will put that up on the screen. For a couple minutes left we have on this stream. Of course I'll be doing this. I'm back consistently, ladies and gentlemen. Consistently, I can tell you this. Consistently, we will be streaming. Of course, I'm just trying out this new streaming website. Normally I use StreamYard, but I'm using Restream right now. So Marcus said that he must go. Okay, okay. Um, it's I'm also gonna read this one. He says it's time we got another coach. So I mean, hmm, it's it's a very tricky situation, Marcus, because I mean, mm, it's something that a lot of people have said in terms of him not getting the best out of the squad, because to be honest, he's just not. And it's not anything personal, because he's gone to a final, He's gone to a final. I'll give him that. He's gone to the CONCACAF Gold Cup final, playing against, I believe, Mexico. Got his hand in. Blake got injured. He had a wrist injury, and that caused us to really be out of it. And we really got into it, We really got into it, but we were just not lucky enough to get that CONCACAF Gold Trophy and Gold Cup Trophy. So maybe, maybe if you look at it, maybe it's time for him to go. But he does have, I think, more wins than Rene Simoes, or has equal the amount of wins that Rene Simoes has for the Reggae Boys team. So you really can't. And yeah, you can make a lot of arguments like, hey, it's not against tough opponents. So really and truly, you can't really say. But you can make also that argument for Rene Simoes. He didn't play necessarily tough opponents, and of course that can be a case, of course, to discuss at a different time. So I want to thank everybody for joining this live. I want to thank Marcus, Tony, and everybody else who joined the live. Tony and Marcus who commented on the live. I'll be um, I'll be doing this again next week, because it's going to be very consistent, very, very, very consistent, where I do a stream every single Sunday, so you guys can sit back, relax, eat on a Sunday dinner, and enjoy the stream, because I'll be giving it to you. Normally I start 4 o'clock, but some stuff happened, so I started 4:30. I was supposed to have a guest on this live to discuss some Reggae Boy matters, but unfortunately he was unable to be here. But stick around for I Am Sure Sports. He will be coming on next week Sunday, so we can discuss some stuff. I'm going to try and get somebody from Sports Frenzy to come on and discuss some Reggae Boy stuff as well, and some football. And I'll be just trying to get some guests every single week, so we can have some good discussion. So thank you guys again for joining. Road to 200 subscribers by the end of the week. I'll be sharing some videos on Facebook, Instagram, and as well on WhatsApp. So the persons who are in my personal contacts, you will see a lot of videos being sent to you. Sorry about it, but you're in the need of watch and subscribe and like and share every single time, because it's good content. It is good content. So thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure, and I'm signing off.